Welcome back. Joining me from Parks Canada is Mary Beth Lynch, and she's here to talk about, she's actually the project lead, and she's here to talk about an initiative called the Mending ground, and it has to do with our national park. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Please explain, what is the Mending ground?
So a Mending ground is the kind of the name that we've given, the National Park has given our project that is part of the 2 Billion Trees National Initiative.
Okay.
So nationally, the mission of that project is to plant 2 billion trees across the country. And then on a smaller scale at Thousand Islands National Park, our plan is to plant 38,000 of those 2 billion trees.
38,000, that's a lot of trees.
It's a lot of trees. Yeah, we're finding that out as we're deep into planting right now.
So are you concentrating right now, because we're closing in on winter?
Yeah.
You're not going to be planting in the winter.
No.
So therefore, there's a very short window right now.
Yeah.
Are you concentrating on a specific area?
Yes, for sure. For the next couple years, and this year included, we're focusing on Hill Island.
Okay.
So there's a site on Hill Island that's a former quarry. And so that quarry was in operation in the 60s and 70s. Part of the material was used to build the 401 in the area.
Yes.
But then it closed down in the late 70s. It became park property, I think, in 1977. And then since then, there's been kind of small scale attempts to plant trees and restore that area.
Right.
But there's also a large deer population on the island. And what we're finding is that everything we planted, despite our best efforts to protect them, was heavily browsed by deer, and it resulted in the trees not surviving.
Right.
So just to tell you a little bit more about that project, we set up some test fence plots. So they were 20 meter by 20 meter plots that we installed deer exclusion fence, 7.5 foot tall fence. And then we plant it within those test plots, and the trees survived. Yeah.
So it can be done.
It can be done. So that gave us hope. And so this is a pretty exciting project for us. And through the 2 Billion Trees Initiative, we were able to get funding to carry it out. So right now we're working on fencing in 4.5 hectares of property at the quarry site. It's going to look like 8 separate fence zones.
Yes.
Just to allow for wildlife movement and people movement.
Of course.
And then, we're planting within those fence zones. So right now we're busy in the quarry. We're putting up fence. And for this year, we're planting 4,000 trees.
4,000 trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So of the 4,000 trees, you need a lot of people, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're finding that out. It's we're planting a mix of bigger potted stock and some smaller seedlings, but we're getting there. But we would love help. Yeah,
you would like help. So you're looking for volunteers, and it can be just anybody, right? That would like to come and help out.
For sure, we've already had some groups out, school groups and other volunteers.
Oh, great.
And so it's a mix of people. A lot of people have never planted a tree, and then we have some people that have planted a lot of trees. But at the beginning of the volunteer day, we always do a demonstration and just go through how we'd like the tree
to be planted.
Yeah, we want to ensure that the tree has the best chance at surviving. We're going to be babying the trees a little bit, making sure they're watered and monitored for any health issues down the road. But anybody can come and plant trees.
Approximately, this is probably not a fair question, but approximately how many trees could a person actually plant in a day? Just what would be the low? Like, if I volunteer, okay, you're thinking, she should be able to plant X number. So how many should I be planting?
It really depends. I mean, we're not we're also out there to have fun and to tell people about the park and make sure they, have a good time. So it's not like a really serious mission that they have to get so many planted. But I mean, it depends. Like, I think for potted stock, you can probably easily get about 10 in the ground in an hour.
Okay.
So, if you're there for a few hours and there's a bunch of people, you can get quite a few in.
So what kind of trees are we talking about?
We're planting trees that kind of reflect what you see in the area surrounding the quarry. So it's a very diverse forest.
Yes.
We're planting a lot of pitch pine. We're planting white pine, red pine. We're planting some poplar, some birch, red oak. We're planting a few shrubs in there, nannyberry, chokecherry.
That's a lot.
A lot of red cedar.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a diverse list of species. But we're also looking at the conditions at the site and making sure we're planting the right trees in the right spots.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think it's a great initiative.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear this.
We're pretty excited about it. And I mean, I've been at the park for a number of years, and I have to say this is one of the most exciting projects I've worked at. You know, we're restoring an area that's been pretty barren for the last 50 years, and starting to see it come to life it's been really exciting.
Yeah. It's like a garden, isn't it? It's like watching a garden with producing some vegetables or flowers.
It's
or
rewarding.
Things like that.
It's very satisfying, and I think for volunteers too, like I like the idea that they can be part of this project and then maybe come back and see how things are in 5, 10, 15 years. There's going to be a forest there.
Well, this is great. This really, really is great. So we will put up on the screen so that our viewers will be able to email you.
Yes.
All right. Is that the best way, or should they call you? Which is the best way to
I
reach you?
think if you're going to put the email address up, and then also people can find, if you go onto Thousand Islands National Park website, under the contact information, you can find the email address for the park. Also, if you follow us on Facebook, you can keep up to date with this project and other happenings at the park. And on the Facebook page, you can find the email address for the park as well.
Perfect.
Yep. And then so if people express their interest, and I will say, so we're going to be planting for the next couple weeks, but then we have a heck of a lot of planting to do next year as well. And then hopefully for the coming years, if we continue to get the funding for this project. But next spring, April, May, and then also again next fall, we'll be planting. So for those that are interested but can't make this year, I still encourage them to send an email. We'll keep all those contacts on file, and then reach out later in the spring and next fall to see if we can get some volunteers. And
groups, you would also like some different civic groups.
For sure.
Rotary, Kingsman, you know, any kind of group that is able to go out, that they're mobile and they can bend over and put, or kneel or whatever, to put the tree in, to plant the tree.
Yep, for sure.
So if you have a database, that will be great. Now, when the spring comes and you start contacting people, would they all be in the same area on Hill Island is everybody going to be at the quarry?
Yes, like for now, our focus is restoring this quarry. So we're going to be working on that. We started it this summer, hopefully finishing up the fencing this year or most of it, and then planting this fall, and then next spring and next fall. And then going forward, we'll be planting in other areas of the park.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. It sounds interesting. I'm so happy that there are trees that are going to be going in.
I know.
We love trees.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you very much for coming in, Mary Beth. Is there anything else that you would like our viewers to know about Mending Ground, the tree planting project?
No, just like I said, we've already had a few groups out. We love working with the public, and we love, that people are interested in this project. We like to share more about what we're doing at the park, and we hope we can get some volunteers out.
Yes, any age.
Any age.
Any age.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.